So, Jerry, what exact years were you undercover?
Well, only 83 May to about April of 85 because
That's the Petty case.
The Sam
Right.
Petty case.
And then the reason I ask is what did you buy most? I mean, the drugs back then that you were buying, you know.
Well, strangely enough, you guys probably are a little young to know, but Teas and Blues took over the city. And at some point in 80, 81, and coke had drifted off a little bit because it was so expensive. Still plenty of heroin. But Teas and Blues were Towin, which is sort of like a painkiller, analgesic, and then the blue is pyrobenzamine. So they crush it up. Who decided to experiment?
Who did it the first time?
But they crush it up and then they shoot it. And man, they were dropping bodies all over. Guys that were in the 4th District told me after 7 a.m. roll call, you went right down to the projects because just to start getting they were
picking
killing everybody. All the robberies and so. I guess the first time is so bizarre. At Elliott, so every neighborhood just seemed to have these festering open-air drug markets like the Wire in Baltimore. Very, very true. Mm-hmm. So I go up to Elliott and Thomas with a guy that said, it doesn't matter if you're white or black, you're with me, and you drive, he goes, they'll turn you. So, I went up there this first day and told the backup, I didn't know what to expect. Just sit back, and if I need you, you'll probably hear a gunshot. So a guy comes up to me, he's, what are you looking for? And you call 4 and 4, 2 and 2, whatever. I forget what they went for, $6-8 a set, and they have them usually in little tinfoil packets. And he says, so he'd go over and talk to an older guy, and then the guy'd go make the block and come back. So come back, and then that guy would be with the older guy, and then flip you, and you give him the money. So you'd go around, you don't know, you could never see where it was. There'd be times there'd be 6-8 cars behind me or in front of me. But here's the key to narcotics, and this is the beauty of being a city policeman. We all know in every district, coppers that know the players, know everything.
Oh, yeah.
So in the 9th, John McKenzie knew everybody. In the 5th, Bob Schaefer. 3rd District, Willie McCullough, Terry James. 7th, every district. So you could call them. So what we do is I'd have somebody on standby somewhere, drive to him, and say, the guy that flipped me, he's got a blue sweatshirt on, blue jeans, a little bit of a beard. And then he'd call you back later. You get back to the office and give you the name of the guy. Then one of the street crew detectives would do a photo spread, and you'd have to pick him out. All right. Well, I figure out that the older guy, the CI was pretty sure that they called him Big Boy, and his name turned out to be Arthur Hamilton. John and I did the best that we could. It was my memory that when Arthur Hamilton was young, and I think in Darst Webb, he tried to shoot Dan Seitz. His gun jammed, and Seitz shot him. But he was on parole. He did a nice prison stint. Now he's on parole. Now he's out here, and he's got all these different people flipping. So I got number 1. I start going back almost every day. It's just so easy. It's just so easy. And a lot of times it'd be the same guy. You get your 2nd or 3rd buyer, be somebody else. So finally, Corona's like, where are we at with this? And I go, he will not do a hand-to-hand with me. So we would write up a synopsis, what was said, what they were wearing, what the weather was like. We described everything. So he goes, I think we ought to wrap it up. I go, give me one more chance. And I knew it was supposed to snow the next day. Sure enough, it's like a blizzard. This is in 83. I go, no, I mean, it was early 84. I drive up there with Herb Gardner. I don't know if any of you guys knew. He was a neat guy. And I go, Herb, he hated going out with me. He goes, oh, man, Louie. I go, Herb, come on. We're just going to go up there. I go, I want to see if this, surely there's not going to be a lot of people out there. Maybe they'll flip me. Well, we go up there. There's nobody out except Big Boy and a kid. And I'm telling you, he looked like a kid 9 or 10 years old.
That's what the newspaper article says. He was 9 years old.
Okay, how about the producer, John?
That's the
new Huggy.
The beauty of producer John. Yeah, so the kid comes up to me and goes, what do you want? I go, I'm not.
The kid?
Yeah. And I go, man, get away from. I go, what are you doing to Big Boy? And he don't say a word. I go, what are we doing here? He goes, just deal with him. So he stays back. Of course, I write this all up. So he goes, make the block. So I make the block, and when I come back, he goes, all right, let me see the money. The kid does. Oh, well, let me see the pills. He goes, motherfucker, let me see the money. 9-year-old.
My God.
So we do a little Mexican handoff. And
was he called
so-
little boy? Big boy and little boy.
so we I write up the case, and everybody, probably 12 defendants, plead guilty because they all had records, you know. But Big Boy goes in front of the judge, his attorney, and says, "We're not pleading anything. He never sold any dope, and by the way, he was up there a lot. He says if he was going to sell dope, it certainly wouldn't have been to a white guy. We're going to trial." So I think they're offering 5 years. If that was usually about it, but a mandatory fine, no paper typically on a sale. So he's going to roll the dice, and so Judge Peak is the judge, and I have to testify, and I can't remember his attorney's name, but he was out of Chet Pleban's office, and he's grilling. I mean, the main thing is I had to go over every buy where I said Big Boy was organizing, and his big question was, did he hand you anything? No. Did you hand him the money? No. Did you see him handle the dope? No. Did you see him handle the money? No. But I had talked about how we had to make the order, go around the block, and come back. So it goes to the jury, and I can't remember who the attorney was. He said, "Boy, that was an interesting closing argument." I go, "Why do you say that?" He goes, "Well, Big Boy's attorney started off by saying, so we have a policeman that's a low liver-bellied snake come in here and lie on my client." And I go, "What did he call me?" He goes, "A low liver-bellied snake." I go, "I don't even know him. Usually you have to be around me a few months before you
Can't be calling me that.
of a snake." No,
Jerk.
I thought that was rude. So Judge Peak, the jury found him guilty. Before the judge gave him the sentence, he said, "Before I sentence you, I want to tell you, there's no doubt, as witnessed by the jury, that you were the key operation of this. You're in charge of this operation." And he goes, "And it's inexcusable that you'd use a young kid to do this." And obviously we never got him ID'd, but to do this. And he said, and most egregious is we had to have an undercover officer get exposed that puts him in danger and the unit in danger. And they gave him 60 years.
Oh, wow.
5 to 60.
Wow.